All right, y'all. So I was going to go ahead and start running through exercise 8, um, or chapter 8, exercise 11 with y'all. It's a pretty simple problem, shouldn't take us too long. Um, Something that I'd recommend is selecting the link to text button if you start getting lost. I found myself kind of getting confused with some numbers, and they put a lot of good visuals in here that help kind of remind you what the correct titles for certain accounts and everything would be. So that helped me out a lot. So that might help you all as well. So starting off, the first part of these transactions is receive $5,300 for a 12-month 3% note in exchange for an outstanding account receivable from R. Stoney. So that would automatically go on our books as a note receivable of $5,300, and then the accounts receivable of $5,300. And then you move on to December 31st, and it's listed as accrued interest revenue from the R. Stoney note. And so immediately you're going to go ahead and start looking at the interest receivable as well as the interest revenue for the period. And so the formula it gives you to work on that is you take the original $5,300 principal and you multiply it by the percent, which would just go on your calculator as 0.03, and then you times it then again by the amount of months out of 12. And so it would go in your calculator as 5,300 times by 0.03, and then you times it again by 8 over 12, since it's only 8 of the 12-month period up to December 31st, and it'll give you a total of 106. And so that'll go on their books there. And then the last part is May 1st, receive principal plus interest on the R. Stoney note. It says no interest has been accrued since December 31st, 2016. And so you'll go on here, and the first thing I put in was the notes receivable, because that's just going to be your principal that was originally paid out of $5,300. And then the interest receivable, you can go ahead and see what that was up to the point when it was last accrued through, which was 106. And then define the remaining interest revenue from December to May. That's going to be an additional 4 months. Use that same formula they spoke about before, where you take the $5,300 principal, you times it by the 0.03 for the 3%, and then you'll times it this time by 4 over 12 for the remaining 4 months of that period, and that'll give you a total of $53. And like I said, you can select link to text, and I'll pull up this window, and it really just runs through these formulas with you periodically when you go through them. Right here, it gives you good examples. So I'd recommend looking at those. If y'all have any other questions, please let me know. You have a good night.